Welcome back to CVTV. I'm Ryan.
And I'm James. Track season started last Monday. Logan and Ryder asked Coach Baker how she is feeling about this year's season.
Hey Sabercats, it's the time of the year where track season is starting back up. Me and Ryder go interview Miss Baker, who is also the head track coach, to get a perspective on what she's looking forward to this season.
Just getting back out there and having the kids compete and watching how they grow over the season. I would say the amount of lower classmen that we've had join the team, it seems that I have more freshmen and sophomores than I've had in the last couple of years. Okay, so our first track meet that we're hosting here this year is on the 11th, and it's our first JV meet. So people can come out and watch that. And then also our first varsity meet is on March 8th, and that's at Echo Park, right there in Parkville, so not too far away. I'm just looking forward to this season. The kids seem to be excited, and I'm excited for them, and I like to see where they go from here.
Now that the Sabre store has been open for a full semester, Evie, Landon, and Peyton go check in and see how it's going.
The Sabre store is CV's very own school store. The Sabre store is organized and ran by DECA, our school's business and marketing club. What did it take for DECA to get the Sabre store up and running?
Starting off, I mean, everyone was just excited to get going. And so last year was very different because we were able to kind of transform this room and get it as a working space. That was not challenging. This year, actually trying to just get a point of sale system, getting everybody trained at the same time as well. I have things going on, making sure things are going well in here, and that was tough. But even often we set up a foundation with the Douglas County Foundation to be able to take card payments and things like that, because you guys don't necessarily have access to my school bucks, it's your parents. So trying to actually give real world experience using things like that became very challenging. So we were able to work through that we have the foundation, so we were able to have the point of sale, but there's times that's technical difficulties, inventory, all of that stuff kind of comes down to me, and that becomes just an added challenge.
We asked Ian Cisco, the president of DECA, what his journey was with creating and managing the Sabre store.
Last year we did a lot of research in other schools like DC and kind of what they offered at their stores. And I think he was trying to figure out how do we spin this for Castleview students and really make this for our community, where it's a space not just like a student store, but really a CV student store, I think was the biggest thing to look into.
Okay, we know what it was like to run and set up the Sabre store, but the question we're all wondering is how much money do they really make?
Up to this date, we have made probably about $35,000. That's gross. Obviously, net is, it costs a lot of money to run the stuff, so I couldn't tell you at this point without looking at our reports what that is. Now that's in a comparison. You look at schools who've been going longer. I did a comparison with actually another school locally in Douglas County, and they were at $80,000 as of right now. So we have a ton of room to grow, a ton of opportunities, but by offering and bringing that money in, just provides more opportunities because it comes back to the school. It comes back to helping our programs and being able to pay for things for students. Being able to, if we can get that, being able to donate a huge portion to Mad Week, being able to help other programs and trying to make things stronger overall as a whole in Castleview.
Go see our Sabre store and buy some goodies so we can be the best school store in the nation.
With spring sports starting, some of our staffers wanted to see which sport was harder, boys lacrosse or baseball.
Jacob, Charlie, and Logan are on team boys lacrosse, while Corbin and Cooper and I are on team baseball.
We all know lacrosse is a contact sport, with frequent checks, body collisions, and tackles, demanding not only physical endurance, but also strength and resilience. We asked Castleview lacrosse players why lacrosse is a harder sport than baseball. Let's see what some players had to say.
Lacrosse is a harder sport than baseball because it's more fast-paced, there's more running, you need more strength, in your core. And yeah, it's just a faster sport, you need more energy.
Lacrosse is a harder sport than baseball because it involves more running and more contact. Lacrosse is a harder sport than baseball because it's a lot more physical. In baseball, you just need to be, good at swinging a bat and running. This is a lot more to do with all other stuff. It uses a whole different aspect.
Probably because it's more physical. You actually like hit people, and you know. But yeah, baseball, you just come out and you just play for probably 10. Like you swing a bat for 5 minutes, and then you just go back to the dugout, and then come out and stand in the field. So.
Our
I
group
think
conducted interviews with
when you're
Castleton High
facing
School
like the
baseball
highest level
players
of
to
pitching in
uncover their
baseball,
perspectives on why
you
they
have, I
believe
think it's like
baseball is
0.4
more
seconds to
challenging than
react to
lacrosse.
decide if you want to swing. Versus lacrosse, I mean, the ball's not traveling nearly as fast normally. And I mean, you have a big net to catch the ball versus like it's like a 2.5-inch diameter barrel or something. I think in lacrosse, like when you're running down the field, you can kind of like scope out here you're gonna pass to, you can kind of see the field. But like baseball, when you're getting a pitch, you have, like I said, it's like I think you have like 0.2 seconds to decide what pitch it is and if it's a strike or a ball. And then you have to decide where it's going to go, where you have to swing. I think lacrosse, you definitely have to be a little bit tougher, so you're actually getting hit. But baseball, a lot of people say it's like 90% mental, because, I mean, success is like 30% of the time is like you're a really good baseball player. So it's hard to feel like you're succeeding when you're only doing good 30% of the time. Like you're going 3 for 10. You don't feel it's good, but it is. I think they probably do have more physical demands. I mean, they have to run more, get hit more. Baseball's more of a mental game. You have to be smarter. The only physical demands baseball requires, you have to be semi-fast. It's the hand-eye coordination that's the biggest one. Probably how difficult it is to consistently throw a strike and be successful at it without getting hit. And also, I mean, people underestimate how hard hitting can actually be. You'll see someone who doesn't play baseball try and swing at like a 30 mile an hour pitch and they won't touch it, but then people don't realize we're hitting against 85 to 90 miles an hour on a daily basis.
I'd say it's pretty similar because you need to have hand-eye coordination to also catch the lacrosse ball and then also like to score goals. I'd say you would have to be pretty mentally tough in both sports because both sports require failure that's going to happen, and you're going to need to be able to overcome the failure. Yeah, it definitely might be more physical, but things can also get pretty physical with sliding and diving for baseballs too. I'd say just hitting at the plate, how hard it is to be able to read what pitch is coming and being able to adjust to different pitches.
Hey Ryan, do you know what rugby is?
I mean, it's a sport, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, you're in luck. Jackson and Noah tell us more about the sport.
The Castle Rock Pirates, a rugby team consisting of many players from all around, is currently accepting new players. Let's talk to coaches and players about what they like about rugby.
The first thing it's a camaraderie and it's a worldwide sport. There's a brotherhood and there's a camaraderie and there's a cooperation amongst rugby teams and rugby players that really just doesn't exist, or it doesn't seem to exist with other sports in the world. It is true friendships. You can go anywhere in the world and talk rugby with anybody.
Rugby is a sport for everyone. You do have to like physical contact. It is a contact sport, but other than that, all sizes, shapes can play rugby and be successful at rugby.
Rugby is a sport similar to football, high contact and having field goals and more. Rugby 15s consists of 15 players on a field slightly wider than a normal football field. And like football, they have end zones where the ball is scored. In rugby, in order to score, you must place the ball down in the end zone, and this is called a try, worth 5 points. Rugby in New Zealand is very popular, and the Castle Rock Pirates have a new player from New Zealand. His name is Andrew Martinez, and he adds a lot of leadership and skill to the team.
I started playing rugby because it was the only sport we had in New Zealand that was competitive. I started playing again because it was a sport I loved. It was fun. My favorite part is probably winning. It's just not as big of a sport here, so it's definitely different than New Zealand.
If you are interested in the sport or would like to join, please talk to Jeff Bredehoff or go to castlerockrugby.com.
And that was the last segment of our show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, check out our
Whoa, wait, slow down. Be humble. This show isn't over yet.
Dude, I guess we just got to work nonstop.
Some people are just not like us.
Tegan and Haley really struck a chord with this segment about the beef between Kendrick and Drake to see people's opinions on it.
Let's take a look.
Hey Sabercats, I'm Tegan. Come with me to ask some CV students their opinion on the Kendrick and Drake beef.
And my opinion on the Drake versus Kendrick beef, I think they're both great dudes. Like I think I like both their music. But honestly, personally, even though Kendrick did start off, I do think he did win at the end because popularity contest too. I mean, bro got a whole Super Bowl.
Reincarnated, I was stargazing. Life goes on, I need her, my babies.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key, keep a horn on me that could see.
Having Drake's ex SZA and Serena Williams at the Super Bowl, I thought was really funny. And then him calling him out at the Super Bowl was also like top tier, best Super Bowl ever.
This world, concrete flowers grow. Heartache, she only do what she know. Weekends, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure.
All right, so obviously like Kendrick is better because like Drake he likes minors, and he ain't got the chance on that Super Bowl halftime show like Kendrick did because he's obviously not as good, you know.
Well, I think Drake's better, but I do think Kendrick won the conflict they had.
I think that Kendrick Lamar is childish and he's lame because he's in his 30s and he's trying to do rap beef, and it's really embarrassing. And I don't know, I just feel like Kendrick K. Like, I don't really like Kendrick. I'm Team Drake because Drake is better.
I mean, I like old Drake, like his older music, but his new music is kind of like the song he just released. Like singing in Spanish just kind of sucks.
Take you to Santos, we can dance bachata. Take you to Kiki or the booby trapper. Hey, I want to pay your rent and pay your taxes. She kissed my cheek and she said muchas gracias.
After going around CV and asking various students their opinion on the Drake versus Kendrick beef and who they prefer, the overall score was Kendrick with 3 votes and Drake with 2. While Kendrick might have won the battle at TV, who do you think really won the beef, Kendrick or Drake? This is Tegan Ricks from CVTV, signing off.
Now that was the last segment of the show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, check out our Instagram at CVSU Media or our website at cvsumedia.com. Once again, I'm James.
And I'm Ryan. See you next week, Sabercats.